Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, guys, look, this is not a one particular altcoin specific video. This is more of a general mindset that I wanted to talk about because I think we are on the cusp of something quite special. It's like a broken record. We say this all the time, especially in YouTube. But because most people are there to make a quick buck, it doesn't actually work out in terms of the overall cycle dynamics. So in today's video, I want to talk about just iron out some altcoins. And in the hour or so that I've been preparing this, quick video, I just sat here watching the top 100, and you will not believe the change within an hour. Now, if you look at the majority of the content out there, they are bringing you dynamic changes between, day to day and hour to hour. And I think we should zoom out, because obviously there's a lot of anxiety that comes with it, and often the bag that you sell is the one that pumps. Okay, Bitcoin dominance is right now, you can see here, it's dropping, right? Still at 58%, but it's gonna drop. Let it come down some more, guys. But the encouraging thing here is that the total 3, I mean, I drew this line and it's almost following it to the T. You can see I've got my support levels here for the total 3, and now we've shot back up. Obviously went over the 640 billion. We got rejected, of course, resistance there, but it looks good. It looks really, really good. And in my opinion, I think once we also start to see, look at the US dominance, right? USDT dominance. And what we can argue here is, I mean, more or less, we're going to break down from this level. This is going to be, ultimately, there will be a reversal here. So when you conflate all these things, I mean, Bitcoin is what, 67,000. There was a bearish divergence, but even if we come lower, so be it. That's not the point of the video. The point of the video is when you look at the higher time frames, we are in a fantastic place to be able to absorb the election and have an alt season. Now, of course, we've always got to be cautioned. This is crypto, by the way. Nothing is guaranteed here. But I wanted to help out people by pointing out few things will happen to you over the course of this cycle. One, the chances are you'll always feel a little bit down because something that you hold is not pumping. That's always guaranteed in crypto. But you should be purchasing and buying those dormant projects when there's hardly any interest. So that is... First of all, that's number one. Number two, if you look at, for example, how would I play in a situation like this? Well, if you look at today and you look at, for example, the BRC20 or the Bitcoin narrative, I think will have a huge pump. Okay, the whole entire Bitcoin ecosystem will be, I think, will be an important one. So you've got the likes of Stacks, you've got Audisats, and you've got stuff like Tab Protocol that's launching today with the TGE. You've got Merlin Chain here doing not too bad. So you can, if you look at runes, if you look at the overall market in terms of the Bitcoin ecosystem, I think this is one that's worthwhile watching. Everybody, again, when the runes came out, everybody fled to try and capture some runes. And the issue is, we knew it was going to go dormant, but now is the time to be doing that research. You should be all over Magic Eden, see what mints are going on, because I think you can make money in the ecosystem. And it goes on. This is a dormant narrative. This is the time to be taking advantage of these things. Just making shortlists. I'm not saying buy any of these projects. For example, Trax is the oracle of the BRC20 database. Just exactly what Chainlink is generally speaking. And, again, this is also linked to Tab Protocol. So you've got to sometimes understand the dynamics and making money. It doesn't have to always be what's aggressively moving. Just because something is not pumping, it doesn't mean it's absolutely cack. All it means is that these narratives will come and go, and crypto will take turns to skyrocket. So that is one way to play this. Again, I'd like to remind you, Bitcoin at $67,000. and the market is not really feeling bullish. Why? Because retail's not here. I mean, imagine this was 4 years ago. Imagine people, kind of thinking that Bitcoin was sitting. This was on CNN. The last all-time high, and obviously we're above that. So it's a tremendous time to kind of look at this market and think, okay, how do I position my portfolio? And I'm going to help you out here. Whatever you get in crypto, human greed is insatiable. You're never going to be happy. I can tell you right now, until you clock out your first 100x, 50x for some of you, 40x, whatever the target is on a particular project, and then that time you're going to start feeling invincible, all right, before crypto bites you back in the butt again. So the best way to do it, guys, is to look for a portfolio average exit of around 20 to 25x. Even if you 10x your collective wealth, it's incredible, right? So set yourself some realistic targets and expectations, and then you go about hunting those big projects that you're looking at. So in this recent dip, and I deliberately waited for this video to actually sit here for a few hours just to see the dynamics here. Off the block, you can see, of course, DYDX has been pumping, and again, that's what you call a TVL-led bounce, 5.9% in that dip. But you'll start to see projects here that are coming back in that kind of top 100, and Sui is one of them. You've got projects like Core, Ondo, Tau. So you've got certain big caps. Aero was down the last hour. It was kind of like over 3%, 3.5% down. It's actually the one that was done the hardest. But right now it's up nearly 1%. So you've got to take a look at each of these categories or classifications. So top 100, and you've got to have some stake in here, I believe, because most of are also too small in market cap. Now, the way I've done it is this. So you look at the whole, these are all of the narratives, and what is the best moving narrative right now, right? But you can see here, it's going to be possibly gaming, because gaming has been, the report that I did for the community, gaming is the one that I believe will run first. Of course, AI is ever present. Meme coins are stable now, but a narrative that we've never had in the last few years, this narrative is waking up for the first time in 3 years in a serious way. And you can see here the likes of Super, Neiro bouncing up 3%. Overall, it's been suppressed for a while. And of course, Carrot, the token unlocks haven't caught up with this at all because the price is being stable as F. So $80 million in market cap. So the market cap is creeping up, token released, but there's not too many dumpage going on, just like you saw with Sui. Then of course you've got possibly this, the project of the cycle, the gaming. I think this one will hard really well for retailers, and it will do very well for them. So what I would suggest is this, guys. In every category, back your horses, of course, and don't be afraid to chop anything that you don't want to hold. Anything that's costing you, if it's not costing you a bit of fantasy on where your crypto could go, and you're not happy with the overall direction, never hold a token without a conviction. All right, this is the unicorn of the gaming cryptos. If there was ever an ETF ticker for gaming, I think Super will be involved. Great team, great partnerships. Mavia is the cycle of the narrative for me, along with Carrot, Prime. Any of these games, I mean, there's countless games that I hold that I don't even talk about here, but it is what it is, guys. It doesn't have to be every single project. In this last bounce, again, TARS AI. Whatever you say about this project, the ability to bounce here was quite significant. So it came straight back out of the traps in this kind of watch that I was doing. Again, this is not indicative of what's going to happen across the board, guys. I've just been doing this experiment, just seeing, how in a dip, some projects that I track are going to work well. Basedai is always going to perform for me once they get, this is again the lowest it's ever been in market cap and in price, right? GPU down, alt down, chain GPT down, desync down, NMT down. So it doesn't matter. What matters is that you do a pick and mix here. You started to get your 3 or 4 of these or 2 of these that you're going to put decent money in them, and just understand how they move and what drives them. AI tech has been suppressed for a bit, not even suppressed, but they are building, and the price is not really reflective of the overall direction for the project. But those green candles will come. So overall, I would say, in terms of my conviction, in terms of my overall project, there's not one project that I hold right now that I'm thinking of getting rid of. Okay, from a layer one perspective, from an AI layer one, AI DePIN, AI and DePIN are going to be very closely related. So that there you have it, guys. Just have a little bit of patience, have your convictions. If you think that Sui's left the train for you, believe me, I mean, this goes and hits 100 billion, which is very likely, by the way. That's a 20x, right? More or less, 50 billion here is nearly, 55 billion is a 10x. It's still a lot to ask for, because then the fully diluted would be outrageous. And I posted something for the Discord today, just saying, look, there's been several opportunities to enter, but unfortunately, because we're all allocated, sometimes it's very hard to pick new tokens. But I would say, guys, 5 to 10 all in at this stage of the cycle. You really don't need to mess about with certain projects, and just stay convicted with whatever you end up with. At the end of the day, I'm not asking you to buy my projects. I couldn't care. Such a small channel that my opinions here don't really matter. But what matters the most is to share that strategy with you guys. Look, can a project hit what you want it to hit at your exit time, at the time of your exit? All right, guys. So listen, a lot of bubbles here, but I think you're starting to get my point here. Some of these projects have done ridiculously well in the top 100. Some of them haven't done so well, but overall, we're seeing the majority of them. Of course, you'd expect things like Neiro not to perform, but you're starting to see some form of shape taking place. A lot of things happening for Phantom, for example. And guys, overall, I'm incredibly bullish. Like, I don't know about you. I know the portfolio can get us depressed. I know that sometimes, we've got other aspects of life that are pushing us for this result. We want to finish this bloody cycle, right? Get that first money. Everyone's thinking about, what car they're buying, or what, paying off the mortgage. Just leave all of those plans to a side until you hold that USDT and it's in your cold storage. Nothing has happened yet, but you can give yourself a great opportunity to honestly sit down and say, look, this is the 10 that I hold. This is the 10 that I desire. Is the 10 projects you hold, are those the absolute conviction that you have? Because for me, they are. If I talk about basedai, it's not doing well. If I talk about alephium, well, right now it's not doing well. So I'm buying a promise there. But to try and supplement that, there will be few projects that I think will hold up the portfolio anyway. And when these eventually run, we take off. I hold aitech. It's not really running right now. It's boring right now. It's probably the worst phase. This is when people are squeezed out of the market. But we're 2 weeks away from the election. We are on the cusp of what I consider to be a massive bull run. And it doesn't take a genius to work out the direction of the market is up from here. Now, if you've got too much capital in one project and you've overbought, then maybe consider taking some of that if it's not performing, and you try and allocate to a strong, so you still have exposure to that narrative or that particular cryptocurrency, but you also have some additional diversification. And most importantly, do not over diversify. You could actually do the bull cycle with 3 projects. You don't have to go and dilute your capital concentration. But say still, like for example, say it's under 2 billion. You've got decent projects in this top 100. We still have Monad coming. When Monad launches, guys, it's going to be quite exciting. Maybe this will be December or January, but this is a very good layer one to actually maybe pump 10-20x. I think it will launch at a bigger valuation. So, if you've missed like Sui or something like that, maybe this is your redemption. I don't think you've missed Sui, but it depends how much you're looking for. For example, with Alf, I'm looking for a 20x. With Alpha, I'm looking for a 50x maybe. At the $100 million market cap, basedai is 74 billion. Perhaps over there, I'm looking for a 50x in arguably a big AI project that hasn't actually pulled any trees so far. So some of these will be risk, some of these will be calculated risk, and some of them will be pure degening. But whatever happens in between, guys, just remember we're about to take off. And if you're dabbling around in meme coins, isn't it the biggest headache in the entire crypto space? For me, it is, but it's the biggest money maker. So in order to get around that, you just buy one or two at a relatively decent market cap. Don't go degening. And these are luck anyway, but you just do a calculated risk here. All right, guys. Anyway, I hope you find that interesting. The one thing that I've learned over the years is not to trade my bag, because that's the only thing that hurts you in a bull market. You look back on it and say, oh my God, I just sold that and it did 100x. If it's a micro cap, or, oh, I used to have that. And you know how you get a little bit of the token left in your portfolio? Sometimes if you exchange it on Uniswap or somewhere, so they'll forever be imprinted into your head. So once you find things that you really like, just sit on it, sit tight. I've been your host, guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful Monday, and I'll catch you on the next video. Maybe we'll see you on a live stream tonight. Take care, guys.